Good morning. I wanted to make a video and have a little chat about something because I know that my viewpoint on it is drastically different than the majority. And I would say that the only reason for that, there's several reasons really, but knowledge, education, that plays a big role in it. But aside from that, just taking an honest look at the situation. So, Pinball Preparedness came out with a video this morning, and he's all packing, and I don't understand where people are missing this. I really don't. But he was talking about comments that different individuals has made, and I had actually tagged him in a comment yesterday, and he didn't bring it up. I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to explain my position. So, if you're new here, I am not very sympathetic for Israel. Why should I be? People don't get it. People will carry that Bible to church with them on Sunday, and they'll act like they know what the hell it's got to say. But clearly they don't. First off, before I even get to my comment or anything else, this has to be said. In the Bible, and I don't know, Kenneth, are you arguing the Bible? I don't know. But in the Bible, all the churches lose their lamps. All 7 of them lose their lamps. Point number 2. Multiple times in the Bible, God, Elohim, Yahweh, have punished Israel for departing from his ways. Multiple times, not just once. And then we have to get into the whole history and talk about who's who. Because unless you really break it down, and you would think it would be right there on the surface, right there on top, but it's not. For some reason, the majority of people miss this, and how, I have no idea. So if we were to reference groups of people in the past, it would be easy to reference Israel because I was Israel. Now, when I say Israel, that wasn't property. That wasn't land. It was a people. Israel was a tribe, not a chunk of land. It was a people. So, we know that the Jews are the one that wanted Jesus to be crucified instead of Barbarous, or however you say his name, and instead of convicting him for his crimes, they wanted Yeshua convicted for his crimes. Who was it that made that vote? Who was it that voted that they should kill the Messiah? And yeah, by the way, it's the same group of people that tell you today that the Messiah is not true. Who is that again? Israel. Israel. Kenneth, did you know that Judaism doesn't believe in your Savior? Did you know that, by chance? But then again, you don't either, because you guys worship Mary and stuff, so I don't know. I can't help you there. But can't see the forest for the trees, Kenneth. And I'm picking on you, but this is a very big problem. A very big problem. So, just so we're clear here, it was the Jews that chose that Yeshua, Jesus, be punished instead of Barbarous, or however you say his name. Okay. That would be a clear indicator there of favor not on Yeshua's behalf, was not. And then we have to talk a little bit about those that actually crucified him and killed him, which biblically you would know as the Romans. Does anybody happen to know theologically who the Romans are? Anybody happen to know who the Romans are theologically? And I don't see how people miss this, but by and large the majority miss it, and it's right in front of their face. Catholicism is the Romans. So let me get this straight. I am supposed to blindly bow down and cater to and idolize, as the Father told me not to, either the ones that chose Yeshua to be killed or the ones that killed him. The two largest religions on the planet were the two that was involved in your Messiah's death. And you are supporting them. That is, to me. But I get it. Not a lot of people had been able to connect those dots. And there's a lot of people. So I can't call you out for being extra stupid for that, Kenneth. I can't. Because there's a lot of people that haven't figured that out. They haven't figured it out that when they participate in Christmas on December 25th, that's a pagan holiday. That's a pagan ritual. That has nothing to do with Yeshua. Easter is actually Ishtar. Nothing to do with Yeshua. Nothing. Nothing. Has to do with the goddess of fertility. It is pagan and it is evil. There's your two biggest holidays right there, celebrated by who? Rome. Rome. Let's be very clear here. And of course, Israel don't even take claim to Messiah. Would you? If you killed the Messiah, do you think you would kind of try to sidestep it so that maybe it didn't, bite you in the ass or something? I don't know. I think I would. So there's a lot to unwrap here, Kenneth mentioned 9/11 and act as if it wasn't some kind of inside job. It wasn't. Can you tell me this, Kenneth? Can you tell me if there was any particular group of people en masse that were warned not to show up for work that day? Can you tell me that? Because there was. There was a large group of people that were warned not to go to work that day. And so they didn't. Do you have any idea what, I don't know, what kind of maybe faith? Because, it's just something very, very coincidental about all that. Okay? Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. You give a shit about those 3,000 people that died that day, or the subsequent days after. All the troops from 20 years of war that's lost their life. And Kenneth, you want to take the easy road. Yeah, the government says it's this people, it's this people. The government says it. I'm done. Right. I love how you folks pick and choose what it is the government's telling you the truth about. It's funny. It's funny. Opportunists. That's one of the worst mindsets of the American people, is they're opportunists. But opportunism doesn't really have any fruit behind it. Because that's just somebody that takes advantage of the good situations. Doesn't mean they know how to get themselves out of a bad one. Anybody can be fair weather whatevers, So, let's get to my comment that I had made. Because I had tagged Kenneth in it, and, pinball preparedness. I had tagged him in it, and he didn't read it. And I'm like, it's even way worse than anything you read. I mean, hell, if you want to attack somebody for coming out against Israel, shit. You should have went after me. So let's take you on over there. Yeah, I like playing with Kenneth because he's not very bright, but he thinks he is. Israel needs to become a parking lot. I tagged Kenneth in it. And I said, who do you think was behind 9/11? I talked about that just a little bit. The people that weren't at work that day. And believe me, there's a long line of evidence. Very long line of evidence. Most people know it. Or at least suspect it. It's just the complete dumbasses that haven't caught on, that still think that what we were told in the 9/11 Commission report was the truth. Nothing but the truth. No, it wasn't. Not even began with the truth. I don't know if any of the truth is in the 9/11 Commission report. But I digress. I had said, I talked about that, the Roman Catholics and the Jews responsible for his death. You know, and like I put in there, it is. I'm speaking 100% from the heart here. It is part of the Great Deception. Christianity is part of the Great Deception. If I were just to come out and tell you exactly in Christianity where the biggest part of the Great Deception is, well, your religion has already made it very, very clear that this is the one thing that you do not argue. If you want to have any respect, love, grace, mercy for the Father, this is the one thing you cannot question. By the way, the good book tells you in there that if anybody ever tells you that, don't listen. You probably didn't pick up on that though, because it was in parables and eyes to see, ears to hear. Sorry, bro. Sorry. I can't help you. You got to open up the mind. You got to get rid of all the bullshit, Kenneth, that you've stored in there. You got to let it go. Have to open that mind up a little bit. Accept truth, whether you like it or not. Not everything is going to feel warm and fuzzy, Kenneth. Or is it you're just that weak? I don't know. I don't support anybody killing anybody. I don't support war. I don't support violence. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. And the reason why is because the truth of the matter is, if we all treated each other as the neighbors were supposed to be treating each other as, there would be no wars. There would be no economic. It reminds me. Friday, Paul showed up for the VR news broadcast, and it was myself and Paul and Steve Angle and Fire Marshal Bill from the chat. And I don't know, we spoke for probably close to a couple hours. And I mean, it was another just bang up conversation. Incredibly good conversation. I will tell you this. If you live in the United States, you are being so heavily propagandized, you can't rely on a damn thing being as it says, or as it's said, if it's coming from here in the United States. You know, there are details of our conversation from Friday that I'm not going to get into here, but, you know, the crazy thing is because I had a bunch of questions for Paul, naturally. Always got tons of questions. And, it is just how it is so crazy, just the amount of sheltering that the American people have done to them. It's insane. It is truly insane. We'll get into a discussion about that talk with Paul on another video. But, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Look, war's not good, death's not good, hate's not good, discrimination's not good. None of these things are good. Kenneth, you said that, Israel is attacked unprovoked, right? Okay. So, Kenneth, if I came to your house right now and forced you out and took over your property, took over your house, your land, and you couldn't do anything about it because, well, people would just kill you if you tried, that wouldn't upset you? Would your anger, because I know damn well you'd be angry, you'd fight to the death to keep what's yours. Am I right? Kenneth, I mean, you are a man, right? You're a man. You would fight. But the Palestinians are unprovoked, huh? Well, you would think that if this was all meant and that this was the way, right? Wouldn't Israel be one church that got to keep their lamp? Maybe you need to question why Israel lost their lamp. If that's who you want to support, and I will put that out to every single one of you out there in the YouTubes, okay? Regardless of your faith. Go to the root of it. See what it's really about. Go look up the verses that talk about the churches losing their lamps. Not one of them get to keep it. Not one of them. And that should tell you something. I want to have open, honest discussions about the Bible. But I guarantee you, people here are not ready for that. They're just simply not ready for it. There's a lot of hard truths in the Bible. A lot. And there's a lot of denial at parts of the Bible that people just kind of, they just don't want to look at. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Really, truly is mind-blowing how far Christianity has been able to pull the message out and replace it with their own. And then you got Christians blindly supporting Judaism when Judaism has the ultimate lack of respect for anyone that's not a part of Judaism. There was just a bunch of people in Israel that spit on a bunch of Christians. Spit. This is a common thing. I know it doesn't hit the news like that real often, but it's a common thing. Christians are heavily disrespected by the Judeans. Jews. And they just run and pander to them. Oh, we got to support them. We got to support. Who told you that? Did God tell you that, or did man tell you that? See, I think that's where people easily follow the wrong path. Because they're too busy looking to man to tell them stuff. Look at people like Pinball. He's always begging for somebody to save him. That's this whole voting bullshit. That's all that is. That's saying, oh, come save me, come save me. I'm going to go spend my 5 minutes and do this, and I want you to pick my life. That's his attitude. The ultimate of entitlement. That's his attitude. It's not how it works, though. And the problem of it is, he'll cling on to any little victory that they may have as winning the war, but they didn't. I mean, everybody else gets to lower their standards and lower their standards just to keep him comfortable with his lies. That doesn't seem very cool, does it? I don't get people. I don't get why people will blindly support things. I don't get why they will just automatically jump behind something because it makes them feel good. They don't think that they need to, I don't know, dig into anything. I'm very careful about what I'll put my support behind. Very careful about it. But there again, I'm not one of these channels that's coming out every week with a different brand solar generator, electric bicycle, or whatever. That just, it blows my mind. All of it just really blows my mind. People really honestly need to seek the Father and talk to the Father. Stop talking to man. Stop trying to get the correct answers from man. You were warned. Man will fail you every time. Every time. And I concur that. Absolutely. But I don't wear rose-colored glasses. I don't lie, even to myself. And I don't cling to the idea that somebody else is going to save me. All I have to do is show up at a ballot box and cast my vote. How ignorant can a human being be? Shalom.